We got frost on the windows and it is cold. Let's do a cold start on her. Push clutch in. Oh, he's still hungry. Oh. Yeah, she's a beast. Look at that beautiful sunset. Alrighty, guys. So we got the hood on this beloved International. I made a little bit of mistake, but I fixed her. I got one of them little brass fittings and shoved up in there. What happened is this little spring, it's got two springs on both sides of the hood. When we was lowering it down so I could put this other little hood bolt in, darn thing hooked on that and then it broke it loose. But I fixed it. It's not a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, but it's not. Another thing we're waiting on this is we got to get the cap for the breather. It was lost in the process of taking the head off 3 times. And we have another issue is it won't start. Like, it'll start and then it kicks itself off. So what we're probably going to end up doing is taking the whole engine wire and harness off and looking at it. But this thing looks great, guys. It looks really good. Still need a bumper, but I don't know what's going on with that. But like I said, guys, I got the hood on. So that works. I'm just going to hook up the headlights and everything, get all those working. And we're going to have to figure out this issue, why it kicks itself off. Like, it gets so hot, then it just kicks itself off. Like, it's a safety feature, I guess, or something. But there's that. Also, I have been putting this thing together, this beloved Detroit. Got the cam caps on, got the cam in, got the injectors in. Got the cam bolt in. I got 3 little thingamajigs, the 3 bolts that hold this cam cap close to the head so it don't leak. And yes, I use Permatex. Get over it. Put this back cap on, and when I was in the matter of torquing everything down, my torque wrench died. So I can't really do anything about that. And I'm really sorry if my camera is kind of fuzzy or whatever. Like, I cracked it, which I'm sure you guys know if you watched my last video. Another thing I was seeing on my video was like, why are you doing that? It's just wear and tear, this and that, blah, blah. Like, it's not your stuff. Who cares? You know? Like tires. Those tires were dry rotted. Get over it. Like, it's my stuff. Get over it. Anyway, they're over there cleaning the shop up. And I guess I'm going to go get some batteries, maybe, and torque that stuff down. Or I don't really know what to do at the moment, so I'm kind of stuck. But Christmas is on the way, guys, and I hope you guys are excited for Christmas. I'm not really excited because I just paid the first payment on some land. That is just a big story, but anyway, I paid a payment on land and it kind of broke me. So Christmas is coming around and I still haven't got Miss Paris anything, so I'm kind of worried about that. Christmas is in a week or in like 4 days, and yeah, I'm just worried because I haven't got her nothing yet, and it's not good. It's not good at all. So there's a couple things I've already done, but it's not that big of a deal. Set my little drink. I had to get some batteries. Look at that. 4 times power boost. Let me tell you, these suckers better last. But when you put these injectors in with the new seals, make sure to put some Lucas on it or some kind of lube. So when you stick the injector in there, it doesn't roll the seal. If you roll the seal, you're going to have to take all this back apart because you're either going to fill your old pan up with diesel or you're definitely going to have a miss. But yeah, that's it. So you're either going to fill your old pan with diesel or you're going to have a miss, which you're going to have a miss anyway because this and that, blah, 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 left and right, up and down, the sun is blue, everything. So these right here torque to 40 pounds. The injector cap, or not these injectors, but the injector bolts torque to 40 pounds of boost. And then these not the injector caps, the thingamajigs, what are they called? The cam caps. Yeah, there we go. Hey, it's in the morning. Give me a second. But these torque to 92 foot-pounds of torque. And behind this cover, there's 3 bolts. There's one here, and then one here. So one of them threads into the head and pulls this case closer to the head. And the other 2 connect to this little cam cap right here. It pulls it closer to the motor. There's a little football gasket in here. I might have the old one and I'll show you, but this little thing right here, it has behind it, there's a football gasket which keeps it from leaking. And what I always do, you can agree or disagree, it doesn't matter, but what I always do, I always put Permatex around this cam cap against the front case, because these are common for leaking. And yeah, but you put these 3 bolts on, and then you got that big cam bolt. I'm pretty sure it torques down to like 300 foot-pounds, 302, something like that. Torque that thing down, and then you just put this cover on. And that'll work for that. And then we'll have the jakes, and then the oil pan. Well, it's a 2-piece valve cover, not an oil pan. So there's the bottom piece. I hope we have some gaskets for that. And there's the top piece, and here's the jakes. There's the thermostat. Here's some bolts. All kinds of crap.
There's some bolts.
And then, yeah, that's basically it. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. And then the valves. Do you still have that thing Dad sent you?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the injectors go to 92 or 82. And the intake is 8. And then the exhaust is 26 or 28.
Oh, look. The injectors are 82.1.
Yeah, 82.
Parker, come on.
Little turd. But I'm gonna go ahead and torque down the injectors first, so I definitely do not forget those. And then I gotta fix a little issue I made a mistake on the wiring harness, or the injector harness, because I did a little boo-boo. But we're gonna put these batteries in this torque wrench because someone ran them dead in the middle of torquing everything down. That's the last one. That's the first bolt I started to torque down with the cam bolt, or the cam caps, and it died. All right, so these torque down to 41. So we're gonna go to inch foot-pounds. So we're gonna go down to 41 pounds of torque. 42, 37, 43. There we go. Well, come on, turd. There we go. 41 foot-pounds of torque. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna just turn it. Go slow until, yep, just torqued. There she went. There she goes. There's that one. There she is. Last one. There she is. All right, 41 pounds. 92. All right. Sweet. 92. 92. 92. Man, I'm getting good at this. And the stud. There we go. Now the injectors are torqued down, these caps are torqued down. Now all I need to do is put the rockers on. And what they torque to is, I'm pretty sure, 73, if I'm not wrong. I'm gonna double check, make sure, and then we'll go from there. This is gonna set inside the stud, and then slide the rocker over, slide this one over. There we go. And then there we go. All right. These are sitting in nice and good and easy and lovely. All right. I'm gonna move with the other set. All right, and another thing you want to make sure is, we had this issue with the Kenny truck, is make sure all these caps are the same. These are the new style rockers. They have a flat top. So all these are the same. You need to look at them. They're all the same. And this other set, they're all the same too. Make sure these are all the same, because if not, the new style, they do not oil the valve, and the old style, they do oil the valve, and that causes oil pressure problems from what we know from the Kenny truck. But live and learn, guys. All right, so with these, well, this style head or whatever, it has the jakes, and these jakes bolt on to the top of the rockers and then pull them down, as well as the jake. So they come with little spacers. They go right here. So you could literally take the spacers from right there and take the bolts out of the rocker, or not the rocker, the, whatever it's called, the jake, and then use these as a spacer to torque it down so you can adjust the valves. It's a lot easier. We've done this several times, and it is approved for mechanicking athletics. So it works. So I'm gonna torque these down to the right specs, adjust the valves, take these back out, and then put the jakes on, and then we can put the valve cover on. And then this will be all set and done, ready to go. All right, guys, so when you're adjusting the injectors, you have different heights. You have different injector heights for different motors. So this one right here is the 78.2. And then this is the one we're gonna need, it's 82.1. See the difference? And that's just how, and then also the valve train is like a timing thing too. Like, because if you're like a millimeter off on the injector, it's not gonna go down until like a degree of timing, if that makes sense. So valves are very important on timing, and if you get it wrong, you can also lose horsepower, so that's not good. So you've got to use the 82.1 for this motor, so I'm going to set this over there. But I'm also going to show you guys the other heights. So we got an 80.3.
Want this off?
Yeah, if you don't mind. And then we also have a, what is this? Ooh, an 81. So there we go. There's the different heights. And we're going to be using the 82.1, and then go from there. So what you do is you just unscrew it and take that off, and then literally put this in. Spin her around. Whoop, 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 whoop. And then bam. Now I just got to roll the motor over until the injector is not on a lobe, and then adjust the valves. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. And the top part is a 14. If I'm not wrong, could be a 15. I'll let you guys know in a second. But what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna put these up, because these are really good tools to have. Well, actually, they're tools you have to have. All right, so I got everything I need. So on the injector, little tool, Allen head, whatever we're gonna call it, it's 3/16. Yeah, that's a 16. And then for the intake, it's going to be an 832. So I got these. I got the one to break the loose up, nut up, loosen it. I got my injector tool, and I got a 7mm, not an 8, for to twist it and hold it in place while I tighten it. Here we go. All right, so first things first, I'm going to be looking at the lobes. All right. So we're going to sit here. See, this is on a lobe. That right there is on a lobe. That's what I'm going, that's how I adjust the rockers. I make sure they are not completely on a lobe at all, and then I adjust them. Like that one's going on a lobe. This intake right here can be adjusted. This, that's just coming off a lobe, the intake, the exhaust, a little bit. And then I'm gonna get over this exhaust, and I'm gonna do this exhaust first. So, roll her over. I do mine usually from the crank. Oh! Alright, sweet. Alright, the intake is not on a lobe. Alright, so I got the 8 for the intake. I don't know if it'll focus because my camera's broken. Come on, baby. There we go. I got an 8, and then I got a 26. Come on. Come on. There you go, 26. So we're gonna take it, and then we're gonna slide underneath. Get her a little tight. Come on, bitch. Just go in there. Yeah, that's how I like it. Right, so it's locked down, no slack in it. All right, now I'm gonna back it off until it feels right. It's a little tight. Right there feels a little tight. A little bit looser. So I'll move it. Take a little thing and then tighten it. There we go. And then you're gonna wanna double check it. Still feels good. Perfect. Ah, I like that, Brax. What do you think about it?
Good.
You want some more of it? I've got everything on. I've torqued these down to 85 foot-pounds of torque. That's what they're supposed to be. I got the jakes hooked up. I got everything where it's supposed to be. It's little wires and everything. Everything looks good. Everything's hooked up. Everything's in the right place it needs to be. And I was wrong about this motor and the cam caps because I ain't the one who took it apart. But once I looked at the jakes and everything, I realized that it's got these set of jakes. I'm pretty sure this is like the new style or something. But it's labeled front and then back. You can't get them switched around because one's got a stud. Like, you can't get them switched around. So they're front and back. It's pretty simple. Very, very self-explanatory. And these cam caps, all the bolts go in these. These torqued to 92, like I said. So I guess what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go ahead and clean up this intake right here. And we got new intake gaskets. So I'm going to put the intake on. And I guess I could put the exhaust on real quick. I don't really want to cover this thing up yet. Like, I'll just set the valve cover on it. But Timmy said he wants to get a new valve cover, or not a new valve cover, new valve cover gaskets, which I highly recommend. Because, I mean, yeah, we're doing all this work to make sure it's sealed up and ready to go. Why not go all the way? You know, we got old pan gaskets, got this, got new head, literally everything new on this. So why not go ahead and go the little extra mile and just get literally new gaskets and everything. So when we set this thing in, we're not going to have any issues with it at all. And guys, I'm pretty confident and I'm proud of my work that these jakes and these valves and injectors are all right. But we never know until we start it up. I'm 100% sure that they're done right. I hope. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I didn't tighten up a nut or something, but let me get around here so I can show you guys. So, all these wires, that right there is in the right place, so it ain't pressing on that valve. No wires touching against the valves, because that will cause a problem later. It'll maybe share a wire, and then you got an injector missing. There we go, guys. Everything's torqued. When you put these things on, do not forget these spacers. They're here for a reason. And if you put them on without the spacers and you try to torque it at 85, 95, whatever, it's probably going to end badly. I'm just saying. Whew! It's a little cold. It's cold. But I'm going to clean up this exhaust and put the exhaust on. And also, I'm going to clean up the intake, put the intake on. So let's get that started. And then I'm going to try to put my headers on my car because we don't really have anything to do here today. It's close to Christmas. So let's just go ahead and get this started and get it over with. And let's do it. Come on. Let's do it. Screw a sack. Let's just do it. Woo! Gotta get pumped. We're going to need new fuel on. Definitely. This is in. It's not tight. I did not tighten it yet. So don't make fun of me. Everything's on. Ready to go. And awesome. what do you think about that? Now we got her on. She's all solid. It ain't moving. Hopefully it ain't. We just slapped the valve cover on there because, like I said, we're going to need new gaskets. We don't have them right now, so I'd rather not leave it open. Timmy suggested to leave the manifold and turbo off, so that's what I'm going to do. But honestly, seal up the valve cover, take this thing over there, get it really good pressure washed and cleaned up, painted and everything, stick a new gasket on the bottom, oil pan. Like, oh, this thing's gonna look a brand new motor. Hey, and Tim was also thinking about putting crank and rod bearings in it, so this thing would literally be a brand new motor, which that would be awesome. But there we go, guys. That's how you put the, well, half of a top end together. But yeah, look there. Old fashioned Permatex. I seen someone say something about Permatex, but I don't care. Permatex is awesome. All right, you can literally put a whole motor together with Permatex. But I guess that's going to be it for today. I mean, this motor, but it's been kind of dry because we're just waiting on parts for everything, literally, and we don't want to start nothing new because Christmas is right around the corner. But Timmy's doing a big project of cleaning everything up, which that's pretty cool. But that's basically it. That's about it, guys. About it. Woo! Actually, I'm going to go see if I can get some exhaust gaskets for my Mustang, and I'm thinking about putting my headers on today. I'm thinking about that. It'll be a separate video though. I've noticed some of y'all don't like me posting car videos, like they like more of the diesel stuff, which I mean that's understandable. So when I do it, it's just going to be diesel stuff, and then my next video is going to be other stuff. So it'll kind of help you guys that don't really like car stuff or like me doing burnouts because it's bad for the car and everything. But all right, so we got a Ford Expedition right here, and it will not start. Fuel pump is working. When I turn the ignition on, I'll show you guys real quick. When I turn the ignition on, this relay is sitting here bouncing off the walls. And it is this relay right here. We got that issue, and another issue, it is not starting with ether. So we don't have spark. Now we need to figure out why it does not have spark. Is it because of this relay? Or is it because of the fact that it's a Ford? Now, all right, so it's like 6 o'clock, and we got 2 hot loads that just became hot. So, and it just so to happen, the white Freightliner that Jason drives, the alternator went out. So here's an alternator we need. So we're taking the alternator off this Red International, and we're going to put it on there. And there's also an exhaust that should have been put on but wasn't put on, and it needs to be put on before it leaves. So we're going to have to do that. And the other white Freightliner, or red Freightliner over there, had a coolant leak, and I just got done with that. So the red truck is ready to go, other than we got to tighten the belts up, and the white truck needs the exhaust and the alternator, and then she's ready to go. All right, batteries are unhooked, and now it's time to take the alternator off. It won't take but like 5-10 minutes. It's not a big deal, but it just sucks we have to do it right now in this kind of time. So there's 2 bolts and then 4 bolts, and then loosen the belt, take the belt off, and then it's off. And then we got to take the one off the white Freightliner and then put it on, and then it's ready to go. And yeehaw, let's go. Let's hurry up and get it done. All right, so I got the alternator off the Red International. Now I got to take this alternator off. Look at this thing. It looks freaking new. It really does look new, don't it? That's ridiculous. But anyway, now it's time to take this alternator off and put the older one on. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and take this belt off. While I'm at it, I got to do this with 2 hands, but let's get her done. Timmy and them are working on the exhaust. This is the new exhaust. So there's the old, new exhaust, and there is the old exhaust. And we're putting that on because it needs it. And there we go. So we're going to go ahead and hook this thing up real quick. It won't take but a minute. Got to disconnect the batteries, and then I can take it off.
16 one that holds that fan bolts on.
15,
And then you use a, I think it's a 5/8 to fatten the bolt, pull it up.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Don't get them too tight, but I guess tighten them up about 3 turns.
All right. Well, Dad got the new exhaust on. Look at him go. He's a man. He's a working man. There's the old exhaust, piece of junk. I could put that on my Mustang. That's what I could do.
You could.
Dang, look at that. That is bad. That really needs to change. Got a new one on it though. So, I got the alternator. Timmy is putting a bolt in right here. In this little bracket because it was not put in, and that's where that oil leak is coming from. So we're gonna put the bolt in, and then it's gonna stop leaking, and then this thing will be done. And then we're gonna walk over here to the Mr. Red truck. Look at this light, guys. Why? Freaking awesome. Is that red truck over there? See it? Mustang? Red truck. All right, now we're over here to the fan bolts. Looks like we got some millimeters that we need to figure out. So I'm gonna slide in here. Oh! Oh! And then, what kind of millimeter do I need? I'm gonna use my, there it is. It's right there, see it? Right there. Bam! So, it looks like, oh man, I gotta loosen them. Oh, that sucks. Dang. Yeah, they definitely need tightened. That's probably like a 16 or an 18, and then freaking 15.
It's got power to it. Look at that.
It's got power to it?
Sparking.
How would a ground be sparking? Hook it to the pause. See what it does. This thing, Cody's got the ignition off, and this thing, not like the fan is on. Like you said, it just started doing it. Cody and this truck go round and round.
Dude, it's a freaking battle.
Like they fight. Cody wins, and the truck comes up with something else. If you guys haven't seen Cody's YouTube, you should go check it out. What's it called again? Gentry's what?
Gentry's World.
Gentry's World. And he calls it that because he's been all over the world and he's doing all kinds of crap. So he's the world of the Gentrys. So I'm gonna leave a screenshot up in it, and you guys should go watch some of his videos. I've watched one of them. If you like kids working and everything, or seeing father and son time, it's really good. Cody's a pretty good dad to his kids. Sometimes. Except when they get annoying, you throw them through a wall.
Throw them through a wall.
Throw them. But that'll probably be it for this video, guys. Like I said, go like his channel. And we have got the white truck. Did not end up making it out. We hooked the alternator up and everything, and then Timmy went to start it, and it fried a ground wire in like 2. So I'll be fixing that and a bunch of other stuff tomorrow. But they ended up teaming and heading out because there was only one hot load instead of 2. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.